Welcome to 9th lecture of module 5 of mass transfer operation. In this module we are discussing distillation operation. Let us have small recap on our previous lecture before going to this lecture. In our previous lecture we have discussed three important topic. One is no reflux below its bubble point. That means the reflux which is given to the top of tray of the column is subcooled reflux. The second thing we have discussed is different stage efficiencies. And third thing we have discussed use of open steam for the distillation. So, in this lecture we will consider two important things. One is multiple feed and second thing we will consider if we take multiple product output. So, multiple product withdrawal. So, let us start with our discussion with multiple feeds. So, you can see over here in the distillation operations we have feed 1 and feed 2. So, two different feed are given to the distillation column and we have single reflux in at the column, and then as per the other design we have boil up at the bottom which have reboiler. So, if two feeds of different compositions are to be fractionated to give the same products, both can be handled in the same fractionator. So, the target is that we have two different composition feed and we want the same product composition outlet both bottom and top, then both the feeds can be accommodated in the same column. So, that is the purpose of the multiple feeds. Each feed should normally be introduced on the tray of matching composition. So, depending on the composition, because once the feed is introduced and it distributes throughout the column stage to stage, both stripping section as well as the rectifying section, and then the composition change. So, depending on the composition change, the second feed will be introduced to the matching composition of that tray. The McCabe-Thiele diagram can be used for two feed column as shown here. So, that we will discuss later. We will use for this type of two feed column, we can use McCabe-Thiele type of diagram. Each feed is considered separately as if neither knew of the other's presence. The upper operating line is located as usual. A total material balance over the envelope if we do. So, distillate which is flow at the top of the column is G, that is the gas inlet at the bottom of the tower, and liquid which is coming out at the bottom, and then distillate which is going out at the top. So, distillate bottoms and the feed in. Let us define reflux ratio R is equal to L by D, and if we do the balance, G is equal to R D plus D. So, we substitute. So, in place of L we can substitute R D. So, it will be D into R plus 1. So, from here G by D would be equal to R plus 1. Now, equation that represents the material balance over an envelope shown over here. We have written over here 3 envelopes, envelope 1, envelope 2 and envelope 3. So, 3 envelopes. Let us do the balance equation for envelope 1. So, we have G into y n plus 1 would be equal to L into x n plus D into x d. So, from here we can write y n plus 1 would be L by G into x n plus D by G into x d. So, it would be L by D by G by D x n plus x d by G by D, and like in rectifying sections we have derived the equation for the operating line, that is y n plus 1 would be equal to r by r plus 1 into x n plus x d by r plus 1. So, this is based on the overall material balance or species mole balance in case of envelope 1. So, we can get the operating line for the rectifying section for envelope 1. So, this is the equation of straight line on the xy plane with a slope of r by r plus 1 and intercept of x d by r plus 1 on the y axis. Now, for envelope 2, that is including feet 1. So, if we include feet 1 over here, so that is the envelope 2 shown over here. So, this is envelope 2 and we define instead of L and G, we define in this case is L dash and G dash liquid and gas flow, and is calculated on the condition of the feed 1. So, if we do the species mole balance, F into ZF plus G dash into Y dash would be equal to X into L dash plus D into X d. So, from here we can write Y dash would be equal to L dash by G dash into X plus D X d minus F ZF by G dash. Now, if we take the other section, that is envelope 3, which is the below the feed tray 2, the lowermost operating line intersects the intermediate one at the Q line for less rich feed. So, with the constant molar overflow assumptions, the material balance for the envelope A over an envelope 3, we can write L bar x m would be equal to G bar y m plus 1 plus W x w. So, now we can put G bar would be equal to L bar minus W, as we have done for the stripping section earlier. So, if we substitute over here, the stripping section operating line equation would be y m plus 1 is equal to L bar by L bar minus W x m minus W by L bar minus W into x w. Okay. So, this is the equation of the operating line for the stripping section. Now, it has a slope of L bar by L bar minus W, slope of the operating line in the stripping section, and it passes through the point x w which lies on the diagonal. Now, you can see for the least number of stages at a given reflux ratio, the feed are introduced at the stage whose construction on the diagram straddle their Q line. So, basically we have two different feed. So, first we have to draw the operating line for the rectifying section considering the starting point and the intercept on the y, and then we have based on the feed condition we can draw the feed line equation, feed line, and similarly we can draw the feed line for both the section, both the feed Q line we can draw, which is shown over here. So, you can see if we do the balance equation for feed line. So, this is F ZF would be equal to which is entering into the feed L is the top column liquid flow, and from the top of the section, and from the feed tray it is L bar, and going into the feed tray is G bar, and going out from the feed tray is G. So, like we did before, we can calculate the slope of the operating line for the Q line is Q would be equal to L bar minus L by F. So, with this, these are the slope for different Q values. So, we can calculate for, depending on the feed condition, we can calculate their Q line, we can calculate their values of Q and the slope of the Q line, and we can plot the feed line, that is Q line. Now, let us consider feed 1 is a saturated liquid of composition ZF1, and feed 2 is a saturated vapor of composition ZF2. So, as we have discussing before that we know the rectifying section operating line, which is balance equation for the rectifying section above the feed 1 entry, and then we know the stripping section operating line equation, its slope and intercept, and now we know the feed condition. So, feed 1 is saturated liquid, so its Q line, Q values is 1, so its slope is infinite. So, it will be a vertical line from the feed composition ZF1. This is the Q line equation for saturated liquid, and this is the feed line equation for the saturated vapor. As per slope of the operating line in the stripping section, we can plot this stripping section operating line, and it will intersect the feed 2 at this location, and the stripping section operating line and the feed line will intersect at this location, and this should be satisfied with this operating line between the two feed tray. Okay. So, this is the line for between the operating line plot between the two feed tray, or this is the intermediate section operating line slope, which is shown over here L dash by G dash, and for this rectifying section slope is R by R plus 1, and the stripping section operating line is so L bar by G bar. Now, let us take an example that 2 feed were fed in a distillation column and having 100 kilomole per hour saturated liquid feed with 60 mole percent NHexane and 40 mole percent NF10. The second feed is 150 kilomole per hour flow rate and saturated vapor with 50 mole percent NHexane and 50 mole percent NF10. The top product contains 96% NHexane and residue contains 4% NHexane. The reflux is a saturated liquid and the reflux ratio of 1.5 is used. The relative volatility of NHexane in the mixture is 2.36. We need to find out the number of ideal trays required for the given separation and identify the location of the feed trays. So, like for the 2 feed column we have 3 different envelope, envelope 1, envelope 2 and envelope 3, and all the feed condition and their compositions are mentioned over here, both bottoms and then the distillate which is coming out. So, basis is 1 hour operation. Our feed flow rate F1 is 100 kilomole per hour and F2 is 150 kilomole per hour. So, total material balance if we do, it would be the feed 1 plus feed 2 would be equal to D plus W. So, F1 and F2 is 100 and 150 kilomole per hour would be D plus W. So, D plus W would be 250. Now, NHexane balance if we do, so it is F1 ZF1 plus F2 ZF2 would be equal to DXD plus WXW. If we substitute, it is 100 into 0.6 because the feed 1 contains 60 mole percent N-hexane and the feed 2 contains 50 mole percent N-hexane. So, 150 into 0.5 and distillate we have 0.96, that is 96% N-hexane and 0.04, that is 4% N-hexane or normal hexane in the bottoms. So, from here we can get these equations relating D and W, that is distillate and bottom. So, we have two equations, equation 1 and equation 2, which relates distillate and bottoms, and we can calculate D, the distillate flow rate and the bottoms flow rate. So, from this putting the values in equation 2, so we can obtain, so distillate is 135.9 kilomole per hour and similarly W would be 114 kilomole per hour. So, we can calculate by doing the material balance, species mole balance and the overall material balance, we can calculate the distillate and bottom flow rate. Now, equilibrium data, that relative volatility equation is given. So, equilibrium data we can calculate and we can plot the equilibrium diagram, which is shown over here in the blue line. Now, XD is 0.96 and 0.96 at D location. So, which is over here, this is D and this is W, that is 0.04, and feed condition is 0.6 and 0.6 for feed 1. So, which is over here and it is intercept on the diagonal over here, and feed 2 is 50 mole percent. So, it is over here. So, now we can plot the, we can find out the rectifying section operating line. The reflux is saturated liquid. So, R would be L naught by D. So, which is L naught would be equal to R into D. The reflux ratio is 1.5, which is given over here. So, if we put 1.5 into distillate is 135.9. So, it is L naught would be equal to 203.9. So, the G1, which is vapor flows from the top tray, is R plus 1 into D, which is 2.5 into 135.9. So, 339.75. So, G1 we can calculate, and equation of the operating line we can write over here. So, R by R plus 1 into Xn plus Xd by R plus 1. So, which is equal to this, and finally, we will get Yn plus 1 would be equal to 0.6 Xn plus 0.384. So, this is the intercept of the operating line in the stripping section. Now, for the section 2, liquid rate would be equal to liquid rate in the section 1, because since the feed 1 introduced as a saturated liquid. So, L naught plus F1 would be equal to 203.9 plus 100, that is the feed which is introduced. So, it is 303.9 and vapor flow is 339.8. So, slope of the operating line would be 0.894 in this section, section 2. Now, if we do for section 2 the species mole balance, F ZF plus G dash Y dash would be equal to X L dash plus DXD, and if we just substitute the values, so we would obtain Y naught would be equal to 0.894 x plus 0.207. So, this is the intercept for this operating line, and for section 3 the liquid rate would be L into section 2, the liquid rate in the section 2. So, which is 303.9, and vapor rate, because the feed is saturated vapor. So, it would be 339.8 minus F2. So, it would be 339.8 minus 150. So, which is 189.8. So, and the total rectifying section operating line equations would be y n plus 1, this is y m plus 1 would be equal to 1.6 x m minus 0.024. So, this is the rectifying section operating line equation. So, now if we just plot for stripping section operating line, you can locate the 2 feet conditions on the 45 degree diagonal and you can locate the distillate condition here. And from the operating line we have the rectifying section, that is the intercept 0.384 x d by r plus 1. We can plot the operating line in the top section, section 1. We can draw the feed line depending on the feed condition. Here is feed 1 is saturated liquid, so vertical line, feed 2 is saturated vapor, so horizontal line, Q line for this section for feed 2. We know the intersection point between the feed line of feed 1 and the rectifying section operating line, and similarly with the slope of the stripping section operating line we can get the intersection point between the feed 2 and the stripping section operating line. Now, we can join these two intersection point for the operating line in the intermediate section. Now, from this operating line starting from XD we can just step off using the McCabe-Thiele method to calculate the ideal trace required for this separation, and which is about 16 number of ideal trays required for the separation. Now, the location of the feed tray 1 you can see over here. So, feed 1 which is intersecting at this location. So, this is tray 4 and this is tray 5. So, location of the feed tray is basically 5th tray, and location of feed 2 you can see over here, the feed condition is over here. So, it is intercepting at this point and the tray is 9th tray. So, the location of the feed tray is 5th tray and location for the feed 2 is 9th tray. Now, we will discuss about the multiple product withdrawal or side stream. So, if we have a instead of one product distillate out, so we have one more side stream in the product withdrawal. So, in this case how to calculate the number of ideal trays required for the separation. So, you can see over here there is a LS which is side stream taken taken with a single feed in and multiple product out. So, one is distillate out, another is side stream taken. Similarly, a product stream of any intermediate composition may be withdrawn from the appropriate tray. Withdrawal of side stream is done frequently in refinery column, because you need different stage cut or with different composition for the refinery products. So, that is a usual practice. In case of a refinery, there is a frequently they used to take different cuts from the distillation column. We may consider the column as consisting of 3 sections on the basis of flow rates of the liquid and the vapor phases. The number of such sections in a column is one less than the total number of input and output streams. The liquid and vapor flow rates vary from one section to the other section, because you have intermediate product withdrawal. So, operating line for each sections has a different slope. So, there will be as many operating lines as the number of sections are increased depending on the side streams. How do we analyze this configuration? use the multiple mass balance envelopes and assume a constant molar overflow condition. If we perform a material balance in light key around the stages above the side stream including the condenser. So, this is side streams, and above that if we take the section, we can write G n plus 1 into y n plus 1 would be equal to ln x n plus d x d, and from here we can write y n plus 1 would be equal to ln by G n plus 1 into x n plus d by V n plus 1 into x d. For L and G constant from stage to stage, then operating line above the side stream, if we perform a material balance in the light key around the stages above the side stream including the side stream and condenser, we can write G n plus 1 into y n plus 1 would be equal to ln x n plus ls x s plus d x d. So, this is including the side stream. So, envelope over here above this. Now, this we can rearrange and we can write y n plus 1 would be equal to ln by G n plus 1 into x n plus ls x s plus d x d by G n plus 1. For L and G constant from stage to stage, then we can write y would be equal to L dash by G into x plus ls into x s plus d into x d by G. So, operating line below the side stream, what will happen, the two operating line intersects at x is equal to x s. This is the operating line below the side stream. So, two operating line intersects at x is equal to x s. Now, if we consider stripping section with constant molar overflow assumption, the material balance for component A over envelope, over an envelope, we can write L bar into x m would be equal to G bar y m plus 1 plus W x W. So, putting G bar would be equal to L bar minus W from the overall material balance in the stripping section, we can write y m plus 1 would be equal to L bar by L bar minus W x m into x m minus W by L bar minus W into x W. So, this is the stripping section operating line equation, and it has slope L bar by L bar minus W as usual. It passes through the point x W x W and it lies on the diagonal. So, determination of the minimum reflux ratio for such a column is a bit tricky in this case. The pinch point may occur at the intersections of a feed or a side stream line and the equilibrium curve. So, if the equilibrium curve has any unusual curvature, a pinch point may have to be found out by drawing an operating line that touches the equilibrium curve. That is the tangent operating line to the equilibrium curve, which we have done for the inflection points in the equilibrium curve as earlier. Now, let us take an example, a mixture of 50 mole percent n-hexane and 50 mole percent n-heptane is subjected to continuous fractionation in a tray column at 1 atmosphere pressure at feed rate of 100 kilomole per hour. A liquid side stream of 70 mole percent n-hexane is to be withdrawn at a rate of 20 kilomole per hour. The top product contains 90% n-hexane and the residue contains 5% n-hexane. The feed is saturated liquid, the reflux is a saturated liquid and reflux ratio of 2.5 is used. The relative volatility of n-hexane in the mixture is 2.36. Please note that although we will do the calculation as for example based on 0.5 mole percent in the residue, but as per the mass balance it has to be if the product is 90% n-hexane, it has to be 10% n-hexane. But for the procedure to find out the number of ideal trays required for a given separation, the calculation procedure would be same. So, there will not be any difference, and also the identify the tray from which the side stream should be withdrawn. So, to do that the procedure remains same, but the calculations will little bit change based on the actual mass balance. So, basis is 1 hour operation, and we have feed flow rate of 100 kilomole per hour, the flux ratio is 2.5. Now, if we do the species mole balance, so it would be F ZF would be equal to d x d plus S x s plus W x w. The feed contains 50 mole percent n-hexane, so it is 0.5 into 100 into 0.5 and d into 0.9, that is a distillate, and we have 20 kilomole per hour withdrawal rate for the side stream having 70 mole percent of n-hexane. So, it is 0.7 and your bottoms contains W is 0.05. So, if we do the balance equations, so it would be 0.9 D plus 0.05 W would be equal to 36. So, this is material balance equation relating distillate and bottom product, and putting the total material balance over here. So, we can get distillate is about 35.56 kilomole per hour. So, this is distillate, and similarly we can calculate the bottom product which is 80 minus D, which is equal to 80 minus 35.56, which is 44.44. So, W is known to us and distillate is also known to us. So, rectifying section above the side stream, we can obtain the operating line equations. Reflux ratio is L naught by D. So, L naught would be R into D, which is 2.5 into 35.56 distillate. So, which is L naught is 88.9 kilomole per hour. G1 we can calculate, which is R plus 1 into D, which is 124.46, that is the vapor flow at the top of the tray, from the top tray. So, the equation of the operating line is y n plus 1 would be equal to R by R plus 1 into x n plus x d by R plus 1. So, it would be 0.714 x n plus 0.257 is the intercept. Now, section 2 including the side streams, the material balance equation would be y n plus 1 would be equal to L n by G n plus 1 into x n plus L s x s plus D into x d by G n plus 1. If we substitute the values, L dash would be equal to L naught minus S. So, which is 68.9 kilomole per hour, G would be equal to G1. So, it is 124.46. So, operating line equation Y would be equal to 0.554 x n plus 0.37. Now, for section 3, which is stripping section, the liquid rate L is equal to L bar plus F. So, L bar is 70.6 plus feet is 100 kilomole per hour. So, it would be 170.6, that is kilomole per hour is the liquid rate. The gas vapor rate remains constant for this section as well. It is G bar would be equal to G would be equal to G1, which is 124.46. Now, the operating line equation for the stripping section is y m plus 1 would be equal to L bar by G into Xn minus W by G bar into XW. So, this is equal to 170.6 divided by 124.46 into Xm minus 44.44 divided by 124.46 into 0.05. So, we will have y m plus 1 would be equal to 1.371 Xm minus 0.018. So, this is the equation for the operating line in the stripping section. So, we know the composition over here in the rectifying section is 0.9 XD and we know over here 0.05 in the stripping section. So, two extreme points or two end points, and then feed is saturated liquid and feed condition is 50 mole% n-hexane. So, this is the 0.5. So, on 45-degree diagonal this is the point feed condition and we can draw the Q line. So, this is the Q line for the saturated liquid feed, and we can also calculate the XD by R internal plus 1 or XD by R plus 1, which is 0.257. With this intercept and the distillate condition over here, we can plot the operating line which will intercept the feed line at this location. And we know the stripping section operating line conditions. So, we draw the operating line in the rectifying section over here. So, this is how we calculated the stripping section operating line and we connect over here. So, the number of ideal trays required is in this case you can calculate is if you see over here by staircase construction, it would be 8 number of ideal trays required. So, this is the location of the fourth tray. So, thank you very much for attending this lecture, and we will continue our discussion on the distillation for the next couple of lectures.